Good evening. I'm Larry Eastick from the Central Illinois Weather Network. We have a number of tornado warnings across several states right now in the Ohio Valley. Tornadoes have been moving through the Cincinnati and Indianapolis areas during the last hour. We're going to try to take a radar trip through some of these areas now and show you exactly what we're talking about as we're approaching around 8:45 Central Time, 9:45 Eastern Time on this Saturday evening. First, we'll show you here a couple of these cells we're really concerned about right at the moment. Well, a couple of these areas of cells, rather. You see all the tornado warnings in Ohio. We're going to highlight those a little closer in a moment, but let me also show you what we're talking about over Indiana. We have a very intense cell right now moving towards Santa Claus, Indiana. It already has had some severe weather today, but this storm is moving towards the southeast, and this actually stretches all the way up into Du Bois County, where Jasper is, moving towards the southeast. A severe thunderstorm warning for a large part of Warwick County, north of Boonville. We'll take a look at that a little closer as well in just a moment from the National Weather Service in Louisville. But let's get back to these tornado warnings. Here's the current radar out of the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio, and let's go through some of these. I put this in blinking mode here so you can see the most intense cells. We'll zoom in a little closer here on these particular cells that are of greatest concern at the moment. A tornado warning. These are the red boxes here. Follow me. Tornado warning for northeastern Highland County in southwest Ohio, northwestern Pike County in southwest Ohio, and southwestern Ross County in southwest Ohio until 10:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So for about another 30 minutes. National Weather Service Doppler radar indicated about 18 minutes ago at 9:30 Eastern Time a severe thunderstorm that was likely producing a tornado. This severe thunderstorm is located near Paint Creek State Park, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. This tornado previously produced tornadoes over parts of Clinton County, Ohio. And again, the locations impacted with this warning would be Cynthiana, Bainbridge, Kincaid Springs, and Pike Lake. Also included in this warning, Rocky Fork Lake, Rainsboro, Burnville, Summit Hill, Knockemstiff, Elm Grove, Idaho, and Buchanan in the path of this storm. Now, this storm is the one Highland, Pike, and Ross counties. Let's try to point those out here to you. Here's Pike County here with Waverly. Ross County, Chillicothe is in that. You see the cell further towards the east here that's blinking. That is one of the very intense cells we're talking about. But this is most likely where we're talking about the tornado. Again, this would be in Highland County. Let's zoom in a little closer on this one here, because this is really showing almost a hook here on radar as we're watching it. We'll do velocity on this when we get in a little closer. Let's put velocity on this, because I would imagine this is probably where we're seeing rotation with this particular cell. You see a dry slot moving in here, and this just updated. Actually, we're getting reds and greens mixing together, and this odd looking dry slot here, we're probably getting some interference as well with the radar signal getting out that far, because there's other intense cells behind it. This is fairly close to the radar, though, the radar in Wilmington itself. Let's put the if we can, the actual radar location on here, just so we can get our bearings where we're talking about here. Okay, so this is here's the radar location. We've lost our there we go, we got our picture back. Let's zoom in again here and show you this fairly close to the radar. We may try pulling this from another side in a moment and see what we're talking about. We're getting this little dry slot here, it looks like, and that would be, again, most likely where we're talking the tornado. This was moving towards the southeast at around 20 miles an hour. Back to reflectivity mode here, and we'll show you again what we're talking about is this intense batch of storms moving through pretty much the Cincinnati metro area right at the moment. And again, this entire line has a history of tornadoes. And of course, the National Weather Service is watching this very closely, because there are additional very strong storms moving back into the Wilmington area, Clinton County right now, and then even further to the west. We can zoom in on these storms as well and show you these nasty looking storms over Waynesville, Harveysburg, and even down further to the south. We'll go here with this little radar trip and take you in close on this storm, producing an awful lot of hail reports during the past half hour. Looks like it's weakened a little bit, but folks down to the southwest as well are feeling this as it moves to the northeast of Blue Ash and also the Sharonville area. Again, this is northeast of Cincinnati Metro right now. These storms tracking off. We'll put these in motion and show you these storms tracking off towards the east. One good thing, we only have a severe thunderstorm warning for a large part of this cell now, but as you can see, the structure with this is very intense, and especially here in the last few frames, we're starting to see a very clear V-notch with this storm, which is generally indicative of a tornado. We'll again check the velocity mode here when we get the last frame back up and show you what we're talking about. And again, now this would be southwest of the radar site. This area here under a severe thunderstorm warning at the moment, but notice here just to the southeast of Mainville, we're seeing reds mix in there right in that green area. That's a sign we're getting rotation, and that's fairly close to the ground. Let's move up a little bit further in the storm and see if it's moving its way up through the storm. A little bit different elevation here. We'll let this load and see what the image is showing us. And as the National Weather Service scans its radar at a little bit different elevation, a little higher elevation, since it's fairly close to the radar, we're still seeing that rotation there right in the center of this, up even further in the storm. So that tells us that moving back into this tornado warning to the east again could be a potential funnel cloud or tornado, and a new warning just coming out for Clinton County, Ohio. We'll take that here again and take a look at that. Near Wilmington, we're definitely getting some interference here from the radar, but further towards the east, Highland and Leesburg under that tornado warning, and that is the area we're looking at for possible tornadic development. Several other counties in the Cincinnati area under tornado warnings for about another 4 minutes, but those are getting ready to expire. Let's go over to Indianapolis now and show you the radar out of there. And this is another very active storm system we're seeing right over Indianapolis Metro at the moment. We've got 3 different areas now under severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's take you in right in the heart of Indianapolis and show you what we're talking about. Storms right now stretching from just to the south of Ladoga and Jamestown in Hendricks County over through Brownsburg, pretty much right along I-465 into Indianapolis Speedway under the path of this very nasty looking cell all the way over to Lawrence, and then that cell drops down and over portions of Rush County, just to the north of Rushville, up through Knightstown in Henry County, and north of Shelbyville right now, northeast of Fairland, also seeing a pretty nasty storm. Let's go in even closer in Indianapolis Metro and show you this cell that has produced rotation reports throughout the evening, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see, the bulk of this storm is right over Indianapolis Metro. Let's put this in motion. We'll show you what we're talking about. We're getting close into the radar site here, and let me put that radar site on screen so we can show you again what we're talking about with this particular storm. Radar site down here at the bottom left of your picture. These storms moving right into Indianapolis Metro at the moment. We're starting to lose some definition here because of the intensity and the location of these. Let's take this last frame and show you again. Speedway right over to downtown Indianapolis, approaching Beech Grove now. This line of storms has a history of large hail, very damaging winds. These storms will affect Southport and Greenwood in the next 15 to 20 minutes as they trek to the southeast at around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Now back out a little bit further, we'll show you again the storms further to the east, south of Greenfield we're looking at, and a tornado warning for the Pendleton area. That's getting ready to expire. Anderson had a report of funnel clouds a little bit ago, but those storms have moved now out of the warned area and are actually affecting areas of extreme northeastern Hancock County right now. Next in line for that particular line of storms would be the Knightstown area, and again they're under a severe thunderstorm warning with that cell, no longer a tornado warning. A little wider picture regional view here from Stormlab shows this mess of storms now from extreme east central Illinois, just around the Champaign area, all the way to Charleston, West Virginia. Then this other batch of supercells that has developed south of this, over just to the east of the Evansville area, again approaching Santa Claus, and a lone cell there in southern Illinois, as the front right now pretty much stretches from St. Louis to around Champaign, moving towards the southeast. And that's going to do it for this update. We have more tornado warnings coming in, so another update coming here shortly, and we'll get in a little closer on those storms in the Louisville, Kentucky area in the next update. I'm Larry Estep in the Central Illinois Weather Network.